Meta description. What if everything you believed about Jungkook, Taehyung, and the world tour was wrong? Who is really being protected? Who is being silenced? And why are ARMY around the world suddenly refusing to stay quiet? What if tonight is the night you finally see what others are too afraid to say out loud? What if the smiles on stage hide a storm no one wants you to notice? And what if the voices that were once only whispers have now become a roar so loud it can no longer be ignored? Before you read further, stop for a second, take a breath, and ask yourself this. Are you ready to face a story that might change the way you see Jungkook, Taehyung, and everything surrounding their world tour? If you feel your heart beating a little faster, then you're in the right place. Stay with this story until the end, and if it moves you, don't stay silent. Like this story, comment what you feel, and subscribe so your voice becomes part of what happens next. IT started quietly, almost invisibly, like the first crack in a wall that no one thinks will ever fall. At first, only a few fans noticed something felt off. Jungkook smiled like always, Taehyung waved like always, the lights shone bright, the music thundered through stadiums, and the world saw what it wanted to see. Perfection. But what if perfection was only a costume? What if behind every choreographed move and every flawless note, there was a story that didn't fit the script? ARMY, known for seeing what others miss, began to feel a strange unease. It wasn't one big moment that triggered it. It was the small things. A look held too long. A smile that didn't reach the eyes. A silence where laughter used to live. Then the questions started. Why did certain schedules suddenly change without explanation? Why were some moments edited out, some words cut short, some scenes never shown? Why did Jungkook look like he wanted to say more but stopped himself? Why did Taehyung's eyes sometimes look heavy, as if carrying a weight no one else could see? Fans asked each other in quiet messages at first, afraid of sounding dramatic. But what if being quiet was exactly what someone wanted them to be? The world tour was supposed to be a celebration, a dream traveling from city to city, uniting millions under one sky. But as the tour continued, so did the unease. ARMY started comparing moments, screenshots, videos, memories. They noticed patterns. They noticed absences. They noticed how some narratives were pushed loudly, while others were buried quietly. And then someone asked the question that changed everything. What if Jungkook and Taehyung were being treated unfairly? That question spread like fire in dry grass. At first, people laughed it off. You're overthinking, they said. They're successful, they're loved, they're fine. But what if success doesn't protect you from being wronged? What if love from fans isn't enough to shield you from decisions made behind closed doors? ARMY began to speak louder, not out of hate, but out of fear. Fear that the two artists they loved were being pushed, shaped, limited, or silenced in ways the public wasn't supposed to notice. Every performance became a clue. Every interview became a puzzle. Every absence became a question mark. When Jungkook spoke, fans listened not only to his words but to what he didn't say. When Taehyung smiled, fans searched his eyes for the truth behind it. Was he tired? Was he hurt? Was he being ignored? Or was he being told to endure quietly? The louder ARMY became, the more divided the atmosphere felt. Some said, "Stop creating drama." Others replied, "What if silence is the real drama?" Social media turned into a battlefield of emotions, love, anger, worry, and hope colliding every second. Hashtags calling for fairness, transparency, and respect began to appear everywhere. They weren't just trending for fun. They carried a message. ARMY will not stay quiet if Jungkook and Taehyung are being wronged. Then came the moments that felt like proof to many. Jungkook speaking with a tone that felt heavier than usual. Taehyung appearing less, speaking less, being shown less. Some fans said it was just scheduling. Others said it was just coincidence. But what if coincidences happen too often to be accidents? What if there was a pattern no one wanted to officially confirm? The world tour itself became part of the mystery. Was it truly designed to highlight everyone equally? Or were some members being pushed forward while others were held back? Fans noticed how certain performances were promoted heavily, while others felt strangely quiet. They noticed how some clips went viral instantly, while others seemed to disappear. And the question returned louder each time. Who decides what we see, and why? ARMY didn't just complain. They investigated in their own way. They shared timelines, compared edits, discussed body language, analyzed words, pauses, expressions. To outsiders, it looked obsessive. But to ARMY, it was loyalty. It was love. It was the refusal to look away when something felt wrong. And the more they looked, the more convinced many became that Jungkook and Taehyung were not being treated the way they deserved. The emotion behind the movement was powerful. Some fans cried watching old videos, remembering how bright and carefree everything once felt. Others felt angry, feeling like the people they loved were being used or controlled. Some felt helpless, asking, "What can we even do?" And then someone answered, "We can speak." And speak they did. They wrote letters, posts, comments, messages. They trended hashtags across countries and languages. They turned individual worries into a collective voice. This wasn't about creating scandal. It was about protection. About saying, "If you hurt them, you will hear from us." But with every loud voice came resistance. Some accused ARMY of exaggerating. Some said fans should stay in their place. Some said questioning anything was betrayal. But what if real loyalty isn't blind obedience? What if real loyalty means daring to question when something feels wrong? Jungkook and Taehyung themselves became symbols of this tension. Every small action from them was now seen through a magnifying glass. When Jungkook looked serious, fans worried. When Taehyung was quiet, fans panicked. Even happiness became suspicious. Was it real? Or was it forced? And that question alone shows how deep the fear had grown. The world watched, often without understanding. To many, this was just fan drama. But to ARMY, it felt personal. These weren't just idols. They were voices that had comforted people through loneliness, pain, heartbreak, and joy. Seeing them possibly being treated unfairly felt like watching someone hurt your own family. That as the tour continued, the pressure grew. Every city felt like another test. Would things change? Would things get better? Or would the same strange patterns continue? Some nights, Jungkook shone so brightly it felt like nothing could touch him. Other nights, he looked like he was carrying something heavy inside. Taehyung sometimes felt like a ghost in his own story, present but strangely distant. And ARMY felt it, deeply. Rumors grew, because silence creates space for imagination. And the less clear the answers became, the louder the questions grew. Why not explain openly? Why not address the worries directly? Why let fans drown in uncertainty? And again, the haunting thought returned. What if silence is a strategy? The emotional weight of this story is not just about fame or business. It is about human beings. Jungkook is not just a star. He is a person who feels, who gets tired, who can be hurt. Taehyung is not just a face on a screen. He is someone with dreams, fears, and a heart that can be wounded. When fans say they are being wronged, they are not talking about numbers. They are talking about souls. Some fans remember moments when Jungkook spoke about pressure, about expectations, about the weight of being watched. Some remember Taehyung talking about feeling misunderstood. Those words now echo louder than ever. Were those warnings? Were those cries for help that everyone ignored because the music was too loud? As the world tour faces more and more questions, ARMY's voice grows stronger. They are not asking for perfection. They are asking for fairness. They are not demanding drama. They are demanding respect.